Hi, so I thought I'd make a video on sport leagues that I follow. And I want to start this off by saying that as a kid, I never really watched sports. It never really interested me. I was mainly focused in drawings or playing outside or imagination or cartoons or comic books, sci-fi, whatever it was I was into at the time. Football never really tickled my fancy, which is the main sport here in Europe at the time. And but I did keep up to date with football. Um, I do have a favorite team, which I still have to this day, which is Arsenal. But as a kid, it just never interested me. I would watch the odd game, but I found it boring. I'd rather do my own thing. When I got into my later teenage years is when I got more passionate about football, got more into it, got more interested, started watching it a lot more, watch it pretty much regularly now. And the other sport that I got into that I really love, and I would say I love more so than football, and it's what I'm really passionate about, is ice hockey. I discovered ice hockey in 2015. Well, I'll say discovered. I knew it existed as a sport, but I never actually sat down and watched a game. It wasn't until 2015 that I actually did watch a game, and I just fell in love with it. The quick pace, a very fast, exciting, constant action, the skill involved. I just really fell in love with ice hockey. And so now we'll get on to the leagues that I follow. So first we'll start with ice hockey. So the first main league that I watch in ice hockey is probably obvious, and it's the National Hockey League in America and Canada. That's the main ice hockey league, the biggest ice hockey league, and the oldest ice hockey league. So I started watching that one in 2015. I do have a team that I support in the NHL, and that is the New York Rangers. And I started watching that in the UK. Now it's hard to get it regular in the UK. I believe it's on Free Sports and Premier Sports now, but I also have a subscription to the NHL Network, where I watch it. The other league that I follow is here in the UK. We have a hockey league, the Elite Ice Hockey League, or EIHL. And the main team that I follow there is one of my local teams, technically. So I'm from Northern Ireland, if you can't tell. I'm not from Belfast. I'm from a city called Derry. But in the EIHL, I follow the Belfast Giants, who play in there regularly, one of the top teams in the EIHL. And then another league that I follow is called the Champions Hockey League, which is sort of like the Champions League of ice hockey if you are a football, soccer watcher. And it's basically the best teams in the top leagues in Europe compete in this ice hockey league, very much in the same format as the Champions League in soccer. So the team that I usually support in the Champions Hockey League is usually an EIHL team, whether that's the Belfast Giants or other to play. They never really do well, usually. So there are other teams that I do follow in the Champions Hockey League. And the main ones are Skellefteå AIK, and I'm probably butchering that pronunciation. I'm not Swedish, so please forgive me. Who I really like, especially I love their kits. I think they're it's a very retro, classic hockey kit, which does appeal to me a lot. And the other team that I follow is SC Bern from Switzerland. And again, they're a really good team, and I also really like their kits as well. That really appeals to me. Another league that I follow is the IIHF World Championships. Now, the IIHF is the International Ice Hockey Federation, and it's sort of like the FIFA of ice hockey, particularly in Europe. And the World Championships is every year there's an international tournament. They have ones for different divisions in each countries and different rankings, but the top countries compete in the World Championships, usually around March, April. And the team that I follow there is obviously Great Britain, Ireland. Used to have a hockey team, but they haven't been doing much of it anymore. I don't think they really compete much anymore. So I follow Great Britain, who last year qualified for the top division again, and will be in the current World Championship. So that has been postponed due to COVID-19. But yeah, I follow the World Championships of ice hockey. And the other one is obviously the Winter Olympics. The Winter Olympics for an ice hockey fan is probably comparable to the World Cup. It's the one that really matters in terms of ice hockey international competition. And I do follow other Winter Olympic sports, and I am considering making a video on other Winter Olympic sports that I follow. I'm not really keen on the Summer Olympics, although I do watch it. But yeah, those are the hockey leagues that I follow along with the teams. And now we'll move on to football. So in football, or soccer, if you're American or Canadian, is probably the biggest sport worldwide. And obviously being in Europe, where football is the premier sport in Europe, I follow the Premier League. I do have a team, like I said before, Arsenal, who I've supported since I was a little kid, and I watch it quite regularly. The Premier League, pretty much every match usually that's on. The other leagues that I watch is the Championship, which is the second tier league in the UK, in England primarily. And there's a few teams that I like there who I'd like to see get promoted again. Those are Leeds United, Nottingham Forest, and Blackburn Rovers. So who I do watch their matches. I'm not like a passionate fan, but I sort of, would like to see them back in the Premier League. I think they'll make it a lot more interesting. The other leagues that I follow is La Liga in Spain, and I follow Barcelona, mainly because as a kid, I was obsessed with Lionel Messi, and I still think he's the best player in the world. I rate him highly over Ronaldo. I know it's a big debate, probably gonna get me a lot of hate, but it is what it is. Another league that I follow is in Germany, the Bundesliga, and the team that I support there is Bayern Munich. To me, Bayern Munich just represents traditional European football. They're one of the prestige teams in Europe going long back. Another league that I follow is Serie A in Italy. And the main team I follow there is AC Milan, who are currently the fallen giants. They have slipped right down the league and have not been performing particularly as well as they used to be. I would like to see them get back up there again, but hey ho, it is what it is. So obviously that means I watch the Champions League and Europa. Usually I don't really support a team in the Champions League or the Europa, because they're teams from other competitions that will meet each other. So like I will cheer for Barcelona. I will cheer for Bayern Munich and AC Milan. When AC Milan were in the Champions League, not anymore. I would cheer for them. But they're not really a team that I support in the Champions League or Europa unless Arsenal qualify, and then I support Arsenal vehemently through it until we lose, which is getting pretty common. And then obviously we got international football, and so I follow the World Cup obviously. And in terms of international football, the team that I usually support is obviously Ireland or Northern Ireland. Although I do also would like to see the other home teams do well, like England and Wales. I would love Scotland to do well. Unfortunately, they are probably one of the worst international teams at the minute. And they've never really had a big period where they're considered a really good or a decent team, Scotland. Usually when they do qualify for something like the World Cup or the Euros, it's usually by the skin of their teeth or by luck. But it is what it is, and I love Scotland. It's a great country, and I would like to see them achieve something in recent memory. And so, yeah, those are the leagues that I follow in football and ice hockey, with ice hockey being my favorite. I do want to preface that I am not an expert in any of these sports, and I'm not going to pretend like I know a lot about them. I just watch them, I follow them, I'm interested in them, I'm passionate about them. Don't be expecting, if I do make videos on these leagues, do not be expecting like in-depth analyses or thoughts on these leagues. It's just mainly going to be my thoughts on my teams and on the leagues that I watch. I'm obviously going to get stuff wrong. People are not going to agree with things I say, but it is what it is. So yeah, if you like this video, give it a like and subscribe. Hit the bell button. It would be much appreciated. And let me know if you would like more of these sports type videos, particularly on football and ice hockey. But if there's any other sports that you want to know that I do watch that I'm not as big into, or you would like me to cover, I'll certainly look into it. And yeah, thank you for watching.